How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my kitchen. Quick video today, as I just wanted to take a look at a couple cards coming in Prismatic Evolutions on January 16th that I'm excited to cook with. I'm getting all this information from justinbasil.com, which have all the translations and made it super easy for me. Before I get into that, just a quick thanks to everyone who's been enjoying the content and subscribing. We just hit 100 subs and it's happened so much sooner than I was expecting, so seriously, thanks for all the love and support. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going in the order that they show up on the site, which is broken down by typing, so it'll be grass types first, then fire, then water, etc. First one I wanted to talk about is this Badu card. For exactly 0 energy, you can do 10 damage and then item lock your opponent. If you go second, you can literally buy yourself a turn against matchups like Charizard and Dragapult by preventing them from using rare candy. This card is insanely good, and considering it has no retreat cost, I see this as a complete replacement to Cleffa in a lot of decks. I've never been a Cleffa believer, but Badu might have a place in some decks because if you followed some of my videos, you already know how much I struggle with Dragapult. Next up is a single prize Lilligant, which has the Sunny Day ability, which says that grass and fire Pokemon do 20 more damage to the opponent's active. I've been working on an Area 0 Torterra build for a while now, but I've been wanting to clean it up a little because of the amount of different Pokemon it plays. I have Kricketune, Ogerpon, Beautifly, Venomoth, but I think just having a 3-3 line of this Lilligant would clean up this deck a lot. Because look, Torterra can already do 270 on a loaded bench of grass Pokemon. If 3 of those were Lilligant, we have Torterra doing 330 damage, completely removing the need for something like Max Bell to get knockouts on those big Stage 2 Pokemon. I'm also super stoked about Blaziken EX. My favorite starter of all time finally gets some love in this new format, being able to do 200 damage for a fire and a colorless, while also being able to accelerate energy from the discard. I think it's awesome, and I think it pairs really well with stellar Pokemon, which often have trouble getting energy into play. Now, I know if I don't include this one, people in the comments will ask what I think about it, so I know there is a new addition to the Festival Grounds deck in Seeking, but I'm not too interested in that, as all it is a decent enough draw accelerator in a deck that already has a way of searching any card in the deck with Thwackey. Glaceon EX is interesting to me though. For its first attack, it can do 110 damage and 30 to a benched Pokemon. For its stellar attack, it needs 1 grass, 1 water, and 1 dark to insta-wipe 1 Pokemon with exactly 6 damage counters. I'm interested in this in combination with Monkey Dory since it already needs dark energy. It seems like a layup to get 60 damage put on anything and then knock it out. I definitely want to mess with this one a little, and that's saying something because I've hated almost every stellar Pokemon we've gotten so far. Tapu Koko EX is looking like it's going to be the replacement for Raikou when it rotates. It doesn't have the draw acceleration Raikou does, but it does have free retreat, which is really good for them. I'll be keeping an eye on this one, not because I want to build with it, but because I think it'll be a problem in the meta once rotation happens. Espeon just seems mean. It's got TM Devo built into its stellar attack, but better. It de-evolves each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon and then shuffles those cards into the deck. That is super disruptive to Stage 2 Pokemon, especially those that play Pidgeot. I think this is crazy good and I would love to try this out. Mimikyu EX seems like it would be a great addition to my Uxie Elf deck. For a Psychic and a Colorless, it can spread 30 damage to 2 Pokemon of your choice. For 1 more Psychic, it can do 120 and Confuse. I like the idea, I might mess with this one on release. Bronzong seems like it would be pretty good in any deck that plays Full Metal Lab. It looks like this ability should be able to stack, so can you imagine Full Metal Lab with 3 Bronzongs and this Rev of Room that can attach up to 4 tool cards if all those tool cards are rigid band? Let's say you're hit by a Raging Bolt with 5 energies attached to everything. It would normally hit for 350, but take 30 from the Metal Lab, 30 from the Bronzongs, and then 120 off because of the rigid bands now that we're getting a new A-Spec that lets you grab a ton of tools, and Wild Drift also makes you take 30 less. So you're bringing a 350 damage attack all the way down to 140. That would be crazy, I can't wait to try that out. Regigigas seems like a crazy new card to add into Tech for Terra Pokemon. For 4 colorless, this Pokemon does 100 damage, plus 230 damage if the opponent is a Terra, knocking out everything up to and including Charizard in 1 hit. Imagine going down a prize, slapping on a reversal energy and a counter gain, and knocking out a whole Dragapult. This one looks crazy, this will definitely have a place in a lot of my decks. Now for trainers, Black Belt's practice seems pretty interesting. It lets you do 40 more damage just flat out. It's like Kieran but without the ability to switch. But if you don't need that for your deck, the extra 10 damage could mean a lot to you. Blood Moon Ursaluna can knock out most V-Stars, and it makes Miraidon one-shot Golden Go. Sometimes 10 extra damage as opposed to Kieran really shapes the map, and this could have a place in a lot of decks in a similar way to how Binding Mochi does, except with this you can literally do both on the same turn. The Max Rod A-Spec also looks pretty good. It's like Night Stretcher on crack. You can pull up to 5 Pokemon and basic energy cards from the discard into your hand. I can see Qianpao and Golden Go drooling about this, but I'm sure a lot of decks could see the benefit of getting back a lot of resources that you play on the same turn. Could be a great one. That's all that's on my radar for this set, but let me know if you feel like I'm overlooking the potential of something. I'm sure there are some cards in here that got you foaming at the mouth, So let me know what they are and we can talk about it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.